What's going on, guys? Nick Lesagore here, Exit 12 Brewery in the house, in the basement for canning day. I'm really excited. I enjoy these little things that we do within home brewing to prepare for certain things. So canning my homebrew and sending out some boxes is always fun. Getting people's opinions on the beer is great. And so I'm going to be canning the West Coast IPA. We named it Always Faithful, which is English for the Latin, which is Semper Fi. And so we brewed this beer with 2018 Veterans Blend hops from Yakima Chief hops. And so that's why I called it what I did, which is Always Faithful. So this beer is a 6% IPA, West Coast style. You saw the brew day on it. I'm going to be canning some beer for some folks. Nate Pico is going to be getting a box. My buddy Dennis is getting a box. And maybe some others if you're lucky. So I'm actually going to go through my process to can a beer and go through the setup a little bit and things like that. So let's get going. All right, so here's the entire setup as you're looking at it. It's a little complicated, so I'll go through it briefly. This is where we put water and sanitizer when we're cleaning the line for this Blickman beer gun that we utilize. We really enjoy it. It's easy to use, and it's something that after dialing it in for a while, they really improved our process. So this is we'll just stick this in this. It's mostly sanitizer mix. We have our cans here that will be, well, those are empties, but we have 12 cans in here that are filled with sanitizer that we'll be taking out. We'll be pouring the cans of sanitizer in the pot here, and then we'll be filling up the beer. Here we have our gas setup. So this gas cylinder, CO2 cylinder, runs to the Blickman beer gun, as you can see. And this cylinder will be running, the one in back, will be running to the keg of beer to help the continuous flow from the keg into the beer gun. And then we bring the can over here to the Cannular Can Seamer from Kegland. And what we find interesting is there are rollers here, and I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but we have a roller here, and a roller under here. So what we want is when you put the can here on the platform's been preset. When you put the can on, you put the top on the can, and it's supposed to fit just like so. In the middle roller, it is supposed to fit very snug on. As you can see, there are grooves. So you just, when you bring up the can, it'll fit right on top. Probably won't be showing too much of that process, but this handle moves the platform up, which seals the can in place so that you can actually seal it. And then up here, we have our steps to seal the can. So moving it to the right quickly and then moving it to the left quickly will seal the can. So those two rollers that you saw will take turns. The first one will seal it, and then the second one will take the lid here and pull it down underneath the can itself to really lock it in place. And this isn't normal. Usually we have this on-off button right here. But there's something going on with our can seamer, so I cannot plug it in without it turning on. So what I will have to do is physically plug it in order to use it. That's something that we're currently working through Kegland with now. And then I bought this thing, which is a pretty cool device. It's a shield that when you put the beer onto the platform and pull it up to seal it, it'll reduce the amount of blowback from actual beer on the can while it's sealing, which is really great and has helped immensely with cleanup. So since we just went through the process, let's get to canning some beer. Okay, everything's in place. We're ready to can. I'm just pouring the sanitizer that was in this can here over the rod of the beer gun. And then what I'm going to do is, with this trigger, I'm going to fill the can with CO2. I'm going to swirl it around, do that for about 10 to 12 seconds, probably don't even need that much. And then I'm going to push the trigger here with the can at a 45-degree angle, and it's going to slowly fill the can up with beer. As it's filling, I'm going to let it sit up, and the can will slowly fill with beer as the level comes up. Once we see the foam, we hit stop, put the beer gun back into the pot of sanitizer, take a lid that has been soaking in sanitizer, put it over the can, and now we're ready to can. All right, I'm going to pull the lever up, and as you'll see, it'll sit right snug in the center roller. And as you can see, there's some residual beer that has spilled over the top that I'll clean here with a rag, just to reduce the amount of spray. I'm going to pull down the shield, and we are ready to seal it. I'm going to turn on the back here. As you see, I just moved the levers quickly, almost a one Mississippi situation. Clean the can off. And as you can see, a nice tight seal on the can. Squeeze in the can, there's really no give to it. It means that it's nice and full of beer and CO2. All right, so it's been a few hours. Cans were filled. A lot of the cans went out to some parts of the country, so be on the lookout. But I figured I'd take a moment to talk about our West Coast IPA that we canned, because I haven't tried this yet. I probably should have tried it before sending out cans and boxes, but let's be honest, I tried the sample after I kegged it, and I really enjoyed it. So this is carbonated, obviously, so it's going to be a lot different, but I mean, look at that head. Look at that head, and as you can see, it is so clear that you can see the treehouse logo on the other side of it. Right there. Pretty cool. I'm very impressed by the clarity of this West Coast IPA. This thing is as clear as it gets. I'm extremely happy with that. The head retention is fantastic. You know, like I said, I had a sample pre-carbonation and I was really impressed with it, so I'm really excited to try it now. But first, let's get an aroma. You definitely get the pine, the sweetness of the malts, but it does have this wisp of citrus to it, which is really nice, which is what the Veterans blend did. It should give that really nice citrus aspect. I'm not 100% sure what was in the blend. You can go back and watch the video. I have to be careful. I did wash my hands a minute ago, so I don't want to get aromas from the soap. A really nice amount of pine, really nice citrus, like the orange rind almost. I am really excited. Quintessential color, as you can see. I'm not sure if this will show through. Some bubbles rising up. Not a lot, but they're there. Still maybe needs to be carbonated a tad more, but I'm interested to see how the cans come out. All right, time to try this bad boy. L'chaim. Yeah. I mean, this is competition worthy to me. I mean, this beer, the bitterness sticks around a little bit, but it is so citrus. The pine on it is really nice. Actually, I think it's really well carbonated. I think it's fantastic. Got a quarter finger head that's really sticking around, which is nice. Really has that snappiness to it, which I really enjoy. That kind of aftertaste, that malty, grainy aftertaste that kind of creates that snap. Also, the hops have a lot to do with that as well. But this was 69 IBUs, I believe, and you're getting every bit of it. But it's really smooth and subtle. Yeah. You know, I think us as homebrewers generally are really big critics of our beer. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. We've had a good run here of producing some nice beers. So this is really nice. The pine and the citrus are really behaving well together. They coalesce with one another almost. There are some sips where I get more pine, some sips where I'm getting more citrus, and then there are sips where they kind of intermingle with one another. Yeah. The bitterness level on it is nice enough that off the palate, a couple seconds, when I suck my own tongue kind of, put it to the roof of my mouth, you're really kind of getting a little bit of that residual bitterness. It fades, you know, it kind of you know, rides off into the distance, so to speak. But it leaves you thirsty for more. Even just talking, you know, I've already killed a quarter of the glass just sitting here chatting about it and taking some sips. Really citrusy, citrus peel, and then the pine aspect on the back is really nice. Pine and bitterness. It's almost like the front is pine, and then it hits you towards the middle back end with the citrus peel, some of that citrus orange, and then mixes with the pine and the bitterness to kind of finish out. And again, the clarity is just fantastic. Really impressed with the level of clarity that we got. 1 Whirlflock tablet, a teaspoon of Irish moss, and then we let it cold crash for 8 days. I personally think, yeah, I'm burping up a storm, so this thing's definitely carbonated. Excuse me. I definitely think the extra time cold crashing really did this beer good. Usually we have our beers sit on gas for about 3 to 5 days, but that extra 3-4 days is really helping out. It's really done a good job. So I figured I'd give this a quick taste to show everyone. Cincinnati Bearcats are playing tonight. They're in the middle of a game against Lipscomb, so men's basketball, I'm going to go up. I'm actually going to refill this up fresh off the tap, and then I'm going to go up and watch the second half. Hope everyone has a good week, a good rest of the week. It's Wednesday today, and hopefully, if you're brewing this weekend, may the brew gods shine upon you, as they hopefully will with Brandon and I. We are brewing with Dennis, a collab with Dennis from Woodshed Brewing. We're brewing a milkshake IPA together, and we'll have more information about that in future videos. We're going to record the brew day, so I'm really excited about that. So I have 3 minutes left here on the video, 2 minutes actually, so I'm going to let this go here. Have a good rest of the week. Cheers.